to transfer talk.
Elsewhere, Vasco da Gama winger Ryan is flying into the UK this evening ahead of his Bournemouth medical, which will take place tomorrow morning. Now, the agreed fee is £24.7 million, with a potential £5.6 million in add-ons with no percentage of any future sale. Ryan has agreed personal terms, will sign a 5.5-year contract, has been dubbed by many as the replacement for Antoine Semenyo.
And we're going to start with Micky van der Ven. Now, interesting, Jodie, because we've had some links with Liverpool, we should say, over the last few days. Spurs have said don't want to sell him. Could you see any way that Spurs would change their mind on that?
For January?
Yeah.
I can't see it for January. I mean, especially when you go in, I think he's a player that can probably command a very high fee. The only natural seeing is they've now missed out on Mark Gurhey. So I think he's a player that a lot of teams would like. I think he complements other centre-halves as well, especially with his pace and the fact that he can break lines carrying the ball into midfield. We've seen him score a couple of outstanding goals. But, yeah, I think he's
Just on that recruitment is, what, £450 million spent, and yet we are still talking about gaping holes in that Liverpool squad. Should there be much more heat than there is on the people above Arne Slot?
Certainly think so. I certainly think Liverpool's summer window was the equivalent of skipping leg day or not eating your vegetables. Things within their squad. You took a player like McAllister, who had hernia surgery in the summer, and it took some time for him to get back up to full speed as well. I think he's getting closer to his best, but he's got far too much work to do in central midfield. There was that experimentation to get Ryan Gravenberch further forward, where he was so effective last season as being a holder and a shuttler as well. So this is a team that, because of the signings made, is top heavy, but also the way Slot is organising this attack. I mean, I've heard this, so a lot of things to get sorted out, and I'm wondering how Arne Slot goes about sorting it.
I mean, it's a good point you make, though, Darmish, because at the start of the season, when a club has a good window, it's like the sporting directors are great. What a network they've got behind the scenes. But when it's not going well, the manager's wasted all that money.
Calls that Liverpool have made over the past 12 months. Van Dijk, new contract, hasn't really worked out as planned. Salah, new contract, definitely hasn't worked out as planned. Alexander-Arnold, couldn't keep him. That's hurt the team massively. Wirtz hasn't really worked out as planned, although I think there have been signs that Wirtz is going to become good.
I think he's a player that can probably command a very high fee and have a good few clubs interested in. But the links with Liverpool, I think, are only natural, seeing as they've now missed out on Mark Gurhey. So I think he's a player that a lot of teams would like. I think he complements other centre-halves as well, especially with his pace and the fact that he can break lines carrying the ball. But, yeah, I think he's a great addition to many teams, but don't see it this month.
Okay.